Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a good Monday and maybe you got to go outside. It was such a beautiful day yesterday. I got to go up to Mother Catherine yesterday before 8 p.m. to pick up some of the work you guys dropped off. I got work back. It was so good to see from Portland and Ashton. And I got work back from Jackson Collins and Rayleigh. I got work back from Sophia, from Annalisa. I also got work back from Toby, and Toby wrote me the sweetest note. Dear Mrs. Schwartz, I miss you very, 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 very much. To Miss Schwartz, from Toby. Toby, thank you so much. I miss you so much. In first grade, I miss all of you so much. Okay, I can't wait to see you guys soon. Let's get started with our schedule for the day. All right, for today, we are going to start with math, and you need your workbook 1A, okay? 1A. After math, we are doing reading, and you need your word workbook. After reading, we are doing writing, and you need your construction paper. We're not going to use it all, but we're going to pick a color. After writing, we're going to do social studies, and you don't need anything for that. And finally, religion, and you do not need anything for that. All right, so get your math workbook 1A, and we're going to get started with math today, okay? Okay, you guys, so during math today, we are going to do a math assessment, all right? We do these in class all the time. Usually we pass out those folders for you to put up around your desk so no one can peek, but since you're all alone at your house, we don't need those. So what you need to do is you need to open your workbook to page 193. And this is how it's going to go. Just like when we do an assessment, I am going to read the directions out loud to you. All right? I want you to do it on your own, just like we would in class. If you have a question, you can ask somebody, just like you would ask me or Miss Bennett or Miss Karen, okay? But you cannot say, Mom, how do you do this? Okay, nope, that's not the kind of question you can ask. If you have a question, your family might help you a little bit, and I'll give you an example of how would be a good way for them to help you as we take the assessment, okay? So you need a pencil. You need your word workbook on page 193. You need your thinking cap on, okay? Remember, do your best and do it on your own, all right? Okay, let's get started. Okay, you guys, we are here on page 193, and this is in your workbook. Normally, in class, you would take home this chapter review to practice, and then we would take the test out of our assessment book. But I only have one assessment book, and usually I make copies to give you guys each one set. But since we all have this in our workbook already, we're going to make our chapter review, which can also be the test. We're going to make it the test. All right. So the first thing I want you to do is put your name and date. Okay, so put your name, and then I want you to put your date. Today is March 31st, 2020. Okay. At any time during this, if I'm going too fast, I want you to hit the pause button until you're ready to go to the next one. Okay. Numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are going to be what is called a bonus. Okay. So I'm going to put a little star by them. You can do them if you would like, but you do not have to. But if you do, you will get some bonus points, okay? So what they want you to do for 1, 2, 3, and 4 is they want you to read the number, what does this say? 15. And they want you to use all the letters to try to unscramble them and spell 15 out, okay? They want you to use all of these letters, but to spell the word 15 correctly, because right now it's not correct. Same thing for 11, 18, and 20. So if you want to do that, you can pause it here, but otherwise we are going to go on to number 5. Okay, so here are the directions for number 5. Put your finger on number 5. It says fill in the blank with the correct word. And these are the 2 words we can choose from. Place value chart or compare. All right. Number 5 says, let's read it together. You can show numbers as 10s and 1s in a, is it going to be in a place value chart written right here, or in a compare written right here? Which is it going to be? Okay, take a second to write that down. If you need to, pause it. Number 6, when you blank 12 and 15, 12 is the number that is less. So which of these words, place value chart or compare, is going to go here? When you place value chart 12 and 15, 12 is the number that is less. Or when you compare 12 and 15, 12 is the number that is less. Okay, go ahead and do that. If you need to pause, do so you can write it down and come back for number 7. Okay, number 7. It says count, write the number. Is your finger on number 7? So what they want you to do is count the puppets and write the number of puppets. Okay, now we're going to turn to the next page, page 194, with number 8 at the top. Okay, put your finger on number 8. They want you to count the faces and write the number in the blank. All right, count the faces, write the number in the blank. After you do that, we're going to go to number 9. If you need some time, pause and then come back for number 9. Okay, you guys, number 9 has a lot of directions, so we are going to do one at a time, all right? The first thing they want you to do is fill in these blanks. They want you to count how many are in this box, which is called set A. How many oranges are in set A? So count those in this box and write the number. Pause if you need to. Once you're done counting the oranges in set A and writing the number, we're going to go to set B, and it's the same thing. They want you to count the numbers in this box, which is called set B. They want you to count the oranges in this box and write how many are here. This box is set A. This box is set B. Okay. Now, down here, they want you to tell you which set A or set B is going to go in one of these places. So listen to what it's asking you. Set blank has blank more oranges than set blank. Okay, so in this blank, you're going to pick the set that has more. Does this set have more? Set A. Or does this set have more? Set B. Write the letter of the set that has more right here. Then, in this blank, you need to write how many more. How many more does the set that you put right here have than the other set? And that other set, that letter, you're going to put here. Okay, so the one that has more you put that set here, set A or set B has, you write the number of how many more this set has than this set, okay? So you're only going to use set A or B one time over here and one time over here, and they have to be different. Set blank has how many more oranges than the other set, okay? So pick the set that has more, write the letter of it, write how many more it has than the other set, and write that letter of the set that had less. Once you do that, we're going to do the next one. Remember, you can pause at any time. Now down here it says set blank has blank fewer oranges than set blank. Now it wants to know which set has less or fewer oranges than the other. This set or this set? Write that down. Which set has fewer? And now it wants to know in this blank, how many fewer does that set have than the other set, which you're going to put that letter over here. So the set with fewer goes here. How much fewer does it have than the other set? Okay, now parents and families. This would be one that the kids would have a lot of questions. They would say, I don't get it, I don't get it, I don't get it. What you can do is you can just say what I said kind of repeatedly. Tell them what the question is asking if they need it. Which one has more? Which one has less? How many more does it have? Which one has less? Which one has more? How much less? Okay. Then down here, first grade, it says, which is the greater number? The number that you put for set A or the number you put for set B? All right, write that number in this blank. Pause any time to finish, and we're gonna go to number 10. Okay, you guys only have 4 more questions, okay? Number 10, it says complete the number pattern. So you're gonna complete the numbers that go in these blanks. 13, 14, blank, blank, 17, blank, 19. What number comes here, and then here, and then here? Look at the pattern and think about, are the numbers going up or down, and by how much? Okay. Pause if you need to. And we're going to go to number 11. Okay, same thing. Fill in the blanks to complete the number pattern to make it make sense. 19, 17, blank, 13, 11, blank. Look at the pattern. See if the numbers are getting bigger or smaller, and how much bigger or smaller is the next number. That is your clue for what's going to go here and here. Families, this is another one that would be tricky for some, and I would do the same thing that I kind of just said. Help them look at the numbers to see, do they get bigger or do they get smaller? And ask them how much bigger and how much smaller to kind of guide them to figure out the number. If you help them and then they do not put the right answer, that is okay. Just have them leave it for now. Okay, just so I can take a look to see how it is going with this since we finished this chapter using the videos. Okay, you guys, pause if you need to finish this pattern, and then we're going to go over to the last page, page 195, starting with number 12. Okay, put your finger on number 12, and what they want you to do is they want you to write the numbers in order from least to greatest. So we talked about this yesterday. Write these numbers in order from least to greatest. So the least number is going to go right here of these, and the greatest number is going to go all the way here. So write the numbers in order. Think about what least means, and think about what greatest means. All right, and remember to look at your tens and then your ones. Pause if you need to. Number 13. Now the directions for this one say, write the numbers in order from greatest to least. All right, from greatest to least. So your greatest number is going to go here, and your least number is going to go down here. Remember to look at the numbers, look at the tens and ones to help you figure out which is the greatest, which is the next greatest, all the way down to the least. Okay. Families, if your child is ready for a challenge, they can, for bonus, do the page on the back. The page on the back, page 196, is not required. Number 13 is the end of our test. But if this was very easy for your child and they need a challenge, you can go ahead and have them try out the back page, page 196. Oops, page 196 with numbers 14 and 15. First grade, if you would like to try it out, please do. Okay, I'll explain to you what you do. This is kind of an example of what's on the back. It's like a riddle, and it gives you clues to help figure out one number. So look what they did. It says, I am greater than 13. So remember what greater means. So if it's greater than 13, that means it's not going to be any of these numbers that are less than 13, that are 13 or less. I am less than 17. All right, that means that the number is going to be less than 17. So it's not going to be any of these because those are too big. Of the numbers that are left, we have 14, 15, and 16 left right now. I am not the least. Which is the least, 14, 15, or 16? They crossed out 14. I am not the greatest. Which is the greatest, 15 or 16? They crossed out 16. What number am I? 15 was the number. So that means when you go on to the back, it's kind of the same thing. They give you all these clues. You can cross out the numbers as you go along to help you figure out and to narrow down that final number. Same with 14 and 15. Okay, and then 15 kind of gives you some extra parts where you can draw out the tens and ones of that number you picked. Okay, this is a bonus. Okay, I would love to see you all try it. You do not have to do it for your test. It is a bonus. But remember, if you are looking for a challenge and this was very easy for you, please go ahead and help grow your brain and do 14 and 15. Awesome job on your assessment, you guys, this morning. If you needed any repeat of directions, just go back and re-listen to the video. And families, let me know if this worked or if it didn't work. This is sort of what we do in class when we do an assessment, but you know I'm not there. So let me know. Thank you. And we're going to move on to reading. Okay, you guys, awesome job on your math assessment. If you need a break before we go to reading, please take a break, okay? And come back once you're ready to do reading, okay? Once your brain is ready. If your brain is ready, just keep on going. Get out your word workbook and turn it to page 20 and write the date, all right? Let's go. Okay, everybody. Here we are on page 20. Like I said, let's start back with writing our date so that way we know what days you do these things. So March 31st? Is today March 31st? It is. I think on the math test I wrote the 30th, but today is March 31st, 2020. I know it says name right here, but remember your name is on the front cover of your workbook, so we know it's yours, and I want to know what date you complete the page. Okay, remember that Y can sometimes be a vowel. Put your finger on the white star. What two letters are in this purple triangle? A, Y. When Y is at the end of a word, it is a vowel. And who can finish the saying that we say in the first grade? When two vowels go walking, oh, I heard some of you, the first one does the talking. So what that means is we have two vowels right here, A, Y. They're next to each other. They're walking together. The first one, A, is going to do the talking, which means it's going to say its long sound. It's going to say its name. The letter is going to say its name, A. So here we are. What is she doing with her guitar? Playing it. Everyone say play. Play. Look at the two vowels, A, Y. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Which is first, A or Y? A. So we're going to put a long line over that A. You can trace it to let us know that that letter is doing the talking. It's saying its name. Play. They also put a line through Y to show that the Y is silent or sneaky. All right, let's do number 2. Oswald is using clay. Go ahead and mark your two vowels, A and Y. If you did that, good job. Here are our two vowels walking. Which one is going to do the talking? The first one, which is letter A. So we're going to put a long line above it. We're going to cross out that Y to show that it's not talking. Clay. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and it says its name. Number 3. He is holding a tray. Let's mark our two vowels. All right. Two vowels are walking. Which one is doing the talking? The first one. So how do we mark that first one? We put a long line over it, and we put a line through the Y to show that it's sneaky or silent. Tray. Okay, for numbers 4, 5, and 6, I would like you to do those on your own. So you have 3 things to do. Actually, 4. You need to read it. You need to mark your vowels with X's. You need to put the long line over the vowel that says its name. And you need to put a line through the vowel that is sneaky or silent. Okay, read, mark, draw your long line, cross out the vowel that does not talk or that is sneaky. 4, 5, and 6. You can pause here to finish, and once you get done, we're going to move right to page 21. And here we are. Okay, you guys, this is memory word practice. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to read this. It's sort of like a play. We're going to read it together, and when we're all done, you are going to trace the memory words that were in pink. Let's read our pink memory words. Repeat after me. Down, to, work, many, first. Usually, when we are in class, there is a song that goes with these pages. So as we read, the song usually reads the word and then spells it. So that's what we're going to do when we read. Okay, ready? We're going to read together. Put your finger on the first one. Okay, ready? Begin. Look at the rain come down. D-O-W-N. All right, let's do it one more time because I think now you have the hang of it. Let's read it. So remember, we read the sentence, then we spell the memory word after we say the word in the sentence. Look at the rain come down. D-O-W-N. What a yucky, drizzly day. Oh, don't be so grumpy. There are lots of games to play. I want to work, W-O-R-K, on monster masks. I want to make a mask too, T-O-O. How many, M-A-N-Y, kids want to make leaf prints? That is a fun thing to do. First, F-I-R-S-T, let's play Leapfrog. Come on, let's stand in a line. Awesome job, you guys. I heard some of you reading it with me. I know it can be a little bit confusing to remember to spell it right after we say it. You can practice more if you would like. And now, when you trace your memory words, I want you to read it and say the letters out loud as you trace it. For example, watch what I'm doing. Down. D-O-W-N. So read the word, say the letters as you trace it, and you're going to do the rest of the page on your own. Awesome job on your word workbook today. Okay, just a side note about your memory word too. You are going to learn about this a million more times in your school education, but I'm going to tell you it now just in case. 2 is your memory word, T-O-O. There are 3 different 2s, and they all sound the same, but they're all spelled differently. When words sound the same, but are spelled differently, they are called homophones. Hello, just like when you talk on the phone and you hear them, these 3 words are homophones because they sound the same. Your memory word, too, T-O-O, means the same thing as also. Why don't you come to the party too? Or why don't you come to the party also? And it also means a lot. We ate too much. We ate a lot. Okay, the next 2, T-O, kind of like means the same thing as for. I can't wait to dance. I can't wait for the dance. Okay, I can't wait to go to the Kennedy Space Center. I can't wait for the Space Center. And the last 2, T-W-O, is the number 2. I have 2 fingers holding up. I'm holding up 2 fingers. I have 2 sisters. Okay, just a side note. Now we are ready to do our story. Okay, so turn on your listening ears. All right, everybody. Today we are going to begin the story In Case of Rain. And in that story, there are going to be words that end in Y that make the long I sound. Remember that words that end in Y and have no other vowels, that Y says the long I. Repeat after me. Buy. Good. Try. Good. Dry. Awesome. This story is also going to have words with Y that make the long E sound. Remember that when a word has a Y at the end, but has one or more vowels in it as well, the Y makes the long E sound. Repeat after me. Rainy, funny, plenty, lily, messy, really, nifty, icky, hungry, every. Awesome. That was a lot of words. Good job. And finally, in our book, we are going to see words with two vowels walking and the first one doing the talking. When Y is at the end of a word, it is a vowel. So A and Y are walking and A is doing the talking. It's saying its name. Repeat after me. Day, stay, play, lay, may. Awesome. And our story words. Scissors. We read about scissors yesterday in our social studies. Ears. We have been talking about our listening ears. Front. Person. Okay. Once again, we are reading In Case of Rain. And In Case of Rain is going to be about what super kids did on a rainy day and how to do each one. I know that you are not stuck inside on a rainy day, but you are sometimes stuck inside right now because of the virus that's going around. So this book might give you some good ideas of how to spend your time while you are indoors. All right, here we go. Our title says, In Case of Rain, Rainy Day Projects from Super Kids' Brains. Awesome. The Super Kids are stuck inside on a drizzly day. What does drizzly mean if you know they are inside because of a rainy day? Drizzly also means rainy or wet. Where are the super kids going to be doing their projects, do you think? They are going to be doing them inside. Why are they doing them inside? Because it's raining. How does this cover look different than all the other covers of books? What does it look like? It looks kind of like the cover of a notebook. Who said notebook? Check your blue or your green notebook. Most notebooks have a little white square in the middle for you to put your name and one big color on the outside. Okay, not all of them, but this is a notebook. And what is the title of their notebook? Is it Social Studies and Science? No. Is it Writing? No. It is Rainy Day Projects. So what do you think we are going to be reading about? All the different rainy day projects the super kids want to do or that they do. Very good. How can you tell that these projects are from the super kids' ideas and not from the internet or from their parents or somewhere else? How do we know that this book, this notebook of ideas, comes from the super kids? It tells us. From Super Kids' Brains. Awesome. Let's look at the first page. Wow. It says, A Monster Mask by Tick and Cass. This page is organized just like a how-to paper. Okay? It tells you will need. It has that list of materials. And it looks like it has some numbered steps. I think this page is going to tell us exactly what we need to do to make a monster mask. And if you choose to make one at home, you are going to have to follow the directions in order. Let's read. Let's read together. You will need a paper bag, scissors, paint, tape, paper. All right. Step 1. Cut holes in the paper bag. Here's their holes. Step 2. Paint the mask. They painted. If you do not have paint, could you use markers? Yep. Crayons? Sure. Step 3. Tape paper teeth and funny ears on the mask. Ooh, look at those. Awesome. Step 4. Cut flops on the sides. Oh, that says flaps. Cut flaps on the sides of the bag. All right, so they kind of cut and lifted to maybe be some wings or some legs. Put on the mask and act like a monster. Awesome. What is the first thing you need to do to make this monster mask? Tells you right here next to number 1. Yep, cut holes in that paper bag. What is the next step after you cut the holes? Paint the bag. Number 2, it says paint the mask. Here it is. If you don't have paint, you can use a different kind of coloring supplies. This page gives you an illustration to go with each step. Awesome. Let's go to the next page and see what else they have in store for their rainy day projects. All right, let's read it together. Leapfrog. This is a compound word. A compound word is 2 words put together to make a new word. Leap is a word. What does leap mean? It means jump. Frog is a word. What's a frog? An animal. So they put it together to make a compound word, leapfrog, by Sal, Tack, and Alf. Remember, read with me. You will need plenty of kids. Step 1. Tell the kids to scrunch down in a line. Step 2. Go to the back of the line. Step 3. Jump like a frog over each person. Step 4. When you get to the front of the line, stay there and scrunch down too. Step 5. Tell the last person in line to jump over each kid and then scrunch down at the front of the line. Step 6. Play until each kid has hopped over the rest of the kids. What is this page about? Playing leapfrog. What do these numbered steps explain? How to play the game. What do you need to play? Do you need any paper? You need a paper bag? How about paint? You need any scissors? No, you only need one thing. Plenty of kids. All right, look down here. Notice it says scrunch down. Where you are in your house, I would like you to stand up, and then I want you to show me what it looks like to scrunch down. Okay, once you scrunch down, you have got the skill you need to play the game Leapfrog. You can stand right back up and go back to where you were sitting. What is the first step in the game of Leapfrog? The kids have to scrunch down, yep, but where do they have to be? In a line. Because if you have the kids all over the room, one in each corner, you can't play the game. You don't have anybody to leap over. When does the game end? Where can we find where the game ends? We're going to look at the last step. The game ends once you complete the last step, which is what? Play until each kid has hopped over the rest of the kids. Now, this game is very interesting because usually when you are at the front of the line, that means you get to go first. But when or where is the person who gets to go first? The back of the line. Okay, so the first person goes to the back and starts hopping. So the last person is the person who started out in the front. This is where we are going to stop for the day. I would love to hear if you and your family are able to play Leapfrog or able to make a monster mask at home sometime today or while you are at home during this time. Thank you for listening. We are going to move on to writing. Okay, you guys, in writing this week and next week, remember that you are going to learn how to write about a how-to or directions for how to make or do something. So today, I'm going to show you an example, and you can follow along if you would like on your own or do it afterwards. or you could just watch, okay? So like I said, if you're gonna follow along, you need your construction paper, you need 2 colors. And today we're gonna be talking about how to make a card for Easter. You need 2 colors, okay? And you can pick any of the 2 colors for any reason. I'm gonna tell you why I picked mine. I picked yellow and green, and this is why. Yellow, because Easter reminds me of baby chicks, okay, with the Easter eggs. It also reminds me of the resurrection, Jesus rising, and we see the yellow sun rise, okay, and I picked green, okay, just because it reminds me of the grass, and I think of green grass and little baby chicks, or the resurrection, and that's why I picked these 2 colors. You can pick any of the colors you would like. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our piece of paper, one of the colors, and you're gonna fold it in half. You're gonna fold it in half this way, okay? So remember to line up your edges down here, okay, so that way they're even. And then you can start to crease it, so that way you have a nice, even card. Okay, that's step 1. Fold your card in half. Step 2, get your other piece of paper and you're going to draw an egg on it. And this might sound really hard, but all you have to do is draw an oval, okay? Because an egg is shaped like an oval. So check it out. Here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with pencil in case I mess up. Okay, I'm going to draw an oval, not too big. And why is it not going to be too big? Because it's going to go on the front of this page, okay? So draw your oval, that's step 2. Step 3, cut out your egg. Okay, step 4, you are going to glue your egg on the front of your card. When you glue it, make sure that your card opens up this way, okay? Make sure it opens up and it opens towards the left, all right? When I glue mine down, see how one page has that pencil? I'm going to glue the pencil side down so you can't see it, okay? So glue your egg down. Once your egg is glued down, we are going to move on to step 4, which is to open up your card, and you're going to write Happy Easter inside. Pick any color you'd like. I'm going to use a marker, but you could use a crayon. And here we go, Happy Easter. So uppercase H, lowercase a, P, Y, and then Easter is a holiday, so it starts with an uppercase E, lowercase a, S, T, E, R, exclamation mark. Happy Easter! Okay, awesome. And finally, the last step is to decorate your egg, your Easter egg, any way you would like. I decided to decorate my Easter egg. I did some squiggly lines, and in between each squiggly line, I drew a different design. I did hearts, stars, 2 bunny rabbits, 3 crosses, and some polka dots. You can design your card any way you would like. We are going to go through and write down each thing we did. And remember that Easter is in 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. So you can keep on decorating your card. You might add some grass. You might add another special note inside, okay? And then you can give it to somebody on Easter, okay? Let's go through and write down our steps. Okay, remember before we can write down our steps, we have to write the things we need or our materials. So I am going to write things we need. And you guys, I'm going to have to write a little small because my whiteboard is not very big. What are the things we needed to make this Easter card? Yep, we needed 2 pieces of paper. Very good. What else did we need? Markers or other coloring supplies. Good job if you said that. We needed what to do? How did we get the egg on this paper? We cut it out, so we needed scissors and glue. Okay, the reason I have these covered up is to save some video time. All right, now we are ready for our step 1. What was the first thing we did to make this card? We had to take 1 piece of paper and do what with it? Fold it in half. So step 1, fold a sheet of paper in half. I started with a verb, fold. Okay, when we do a how-to paper, we always start with a verb. What did we do after we folded our green paper in half? Who remembers? We had to draw what? Draw the egg on another piece of paper. Okay. Step 2, draw an egg on the other sheet of paper. Draw is the verb. What did we do after we drew the egg on the yellow paper? How did we get it on the green paper? We had to cut it out, right? So step 3, cut out the egg. What did we do once we cut out the egg? We had to, how did we get it on this paper? Glue. Glue is a verb, so is cut. Step 4, glue the egg on the front of the card. That's important because we didn't put it on the back, right? The egg is on the front because it's the main focus. Easter, our Easter egg. What did we do after we glued the egg on the front? We opened up the card and did what? I know some of you said decorate, but what did we do before decorate? Step 5, write Happy Easter inside. There it is. Happy Easter. Now, finally, for our last step, step 6, we got to decorate. Decorate is our verb. Decorate the egg. Very good. A lot of times when we write a how-to paper, it's easier to do the task. In our case, I did the card before I wrote the steps. It's easier to do that way because you go through all the steps as you're working, and then you have it in your brain of what you did, and you can look at your finished product to help remind you, and you can think about what did I just do. So when we do a how-to paper, it's easier and it's better to do the project first and then to write the steps. If we were in class at this point, I would ask you, did you think my steps were clear, or would you change something? Something I think some of you might have said is for materials, 2 pieces of paper. Maybe you would have said 2 different colored pieces of paper, or maybe you would have said the colors to use. 1 green, 1 yellow, or whatever colors you think would be best for the card. Okay? Like I said, I would ask you after each step, does this make sense? Would you change it? Can we agree and move on to the next one? But for now, it's just me in here, okay? So if there's something that you really think I should change, I would love for you to let me know, and then we could talk about it another day, okay? We're gonna get ready for social studies. In social studies, we have been talking about goods and services, needs and wants, how people get money by working, and the choices people make about how to spend their money. Today, we are going to practice our decision making, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Okay, this page is called Make a Decision. Like I just said, when you have money to spend, You have to make choices or make decisions on what you are going to spend your money on. Are you going to provide for all your needs before you provide for all your wants? Which wants do you want to pay for? And which wants are you willing to wait for? Okay, so we're going to practice our decision making. When people make a decision, they make choices. All right, I want everybody to point to the word decision on the screen. You don't have to touch it, but just I want you to have your finger near it or your eye on it. And let's do an example of a decision. Okay, choices you could make. In the morning, your family might give you a choice of what to eat. You can have eggs or pancakes. You can have cereal or waffles. Okay. That is an example of having to make a decision. When people make decisions, you choose to do one of those things and not the other. So if you choose eggs that morning, that means you're not going to get pancakes. Or if you choose cereal that morning, that means you are not going to get those waffles. Often, it's better to give a reason for why you choose or why you chose one thing over another thing. If we were in class, I would ask people to share about a time they have had to make a decision. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a decision. We are going to talk about the decision that these two children have. Okay? So, let's look at the picture. What do we see? We see two kids, and what are they looking at? That is pie. And how many kids are there? There's two. How many slices of pie are there? Just one. So, step one. Think about what is happening. Two children want to eat pie. Look at this boy. He's got his hand on his tummy saying, "Ooh, I'm hungry." So does the girl. There is only one slice of pie. All right, let's talk about the choices they have. Tell what the choices are. One child can eat the pie. That's one of the choices. Either the girl could have the pie or this boy could have the pie. That's a choice they could make. The children can share the pie. Okay, they could decide to cut it in half. That could be a choice that they make. Or no one can eat the pie. They could decide we are not going to have it, neither one of us. All right? I want you to think about each choice. Does each choice benefit or is each choice good for everyone? If one child can eat the pie, is that good for both children? If the children share the pie, is that good for each child? How about if neither of the children eat any of the pie? Is that good for the children? How do you think these kids should decide what to do with the pie? What would happen if one child ate the pie, one of these two? What would the other child do? Maybe they would go get something else to eat. Maybe they would say, "I'm really not that hungry." Maybe they would say, "You know what? I had pie yesterday. You can have it." Or maybe they would cry and be very sad that they didn't get any pie. How could the kids share the pie? They could cut it in half. One person could eat all the crust. The other person could eat all the filling. What about if neither of them had the pie? Maybe they would both decide, you know what, since neither of us can have it, have the size of the pie that we want, why don't we give it to somebody? Okay? Why don't we offer it to our mom or our dad or our grandma or our grandpa or our brother or our sister or cousin? How about that? What choice do you think is the best? Do you think one child should eat the pie and the other child does not? Do you think they should share the pie? Or do you think that they should not have the pie, either one of them? Okay, I mean, there's a lot of good choices here. Let's say Natalia is this child, and let's say Jackson, this is Jackson Hare, Jackson Hare is this child. Let me scoot that over, okay? Let's say those are the kids deciding. Maybe Jackson says, you know what, Natalia, your birthday's coming up. I want you to have the pie. Or maybe Natalia says, you know what, Jackson, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to have cake at home. Maybe you should have the pie. Maybe Natalia and Jackson decide to share the pie. Or maybe they decide, you know what, we really want to give this slice of pie to Mr. Voigt. We think that would make him feel so happy. We want to do something nice for somebody. Okay. At this time, I would let people share what choice they think is best and tell why. And then we would vote. Okay, we would vote on which choice should Natalia and Jackson make. That's it for social studies today, guys. Okay, guys, last thing for today is religion, and we are going to start religion with a glory be. And after we pray it, I'm going to tell you why. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end, amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. We prayed that prayer to remind us that God has a plan for our life now and for the rest of our life. And also to remind us, world without end, amen, okay? When our time is done on earth, we will go to a place that lasts forever, right? And we want to be like Saint Ignatius of Antioch, all right? And we want to go where he got to go. He is a saint, so he is in heaven. This saint is a request from Miss Mary Hazel. Guess what? Her family has this book at home. Can you believe that? It's her dad's. He had it since he was her age. And she saw Saint Ignatius of Antioch with the lions in the background, and she wants everybody to know about him. So today, that is who we are going to talk about. Here we go. Okay. Saint Ignatius of Antioch was born in Syria, and he became a Christian early on. And he even was a priest, and then he became a bishop, so he was in charge of priests. Later on, an emperor, kind of like the king, came to visit, and he did not like that there were so many Christians or people who believed in Jesus in Antioch. And he gave those people two choices. He said, you can either say that you do not believe in Jesus, that you do not love him, and I will set you free, and you can go on about your life. Or you can say that you love Jesus and that you believe in him, but I will not let you live. So those were your choices. Okay? And what do you think Saint Ignatius of Antioch chose? If he's a saint in heaven, he chose to say that he loved Jesus. So what did that mean? That mean that he had to be what's called a martyr, someone who dies for their faith. Okay? That's what happened. During his journey to Rome, where that was going to be the last place he lived, he wrote 7 letters. Okay? 5 of those letters were to churches. And he told the churches, even though you see what is happening to me, stay faithful to God. Love God. Obey your superiors. Love God, because this world will come to an end, but heaven will not, and that's where you want to be. Okay? The 6th letter was to another bishop, someone like his friend, who was also martyred, another bishop friend who said that he loved Jesus and that he believed in him, So he became a martyr for his faith. He died after doing that. And the last letter was to all the other Christians in Rome to say, it's okay that this is happening to me. Okay, because these men, they are evil. But if I stay close to Jesus, and if I do not deny him, if I say, yes, I know him, yes, I love him, I will be rewarded later. Okay, he said, my reward will be to become pure, like the pure bread of Christ. Okay, pure in heaven. When you go to heaven, you become pure. Okay, you're perfect. In the year 107, Ignatius had a duel with these lions. Okay, that's what happened soon after he died. Strengthened by the love of God, Saint Ignatius was able to show great concern for the unity of the church and steadfast fidelity to Christ. That means that he stayed with Christ all the time, even when things got hard, even when he was told that he might have to die, because he knew if he dies for Jesus, he'll get to meet him in heaven. Okay? So today, let's ask God to give us the grace to love him no matter what happens. And here's the prayer. Almighty and ever-living God, you adorn the body of your holy church with the witness of your martyrs. Grant that the sufferings of St. Ignatius on this day, which brought unending glory to him, may bring us perpetual protection. Amen. Wow, St. Ignatius of Antioch was a very brave man, and he had the grace of God in him. Remember that we cannot do things without the help of God. Okay, so it may seem out of this world that St. Ignatius had to do that. Okay, but remember, God was with him. God was in him, giving him all the strength and courage that he needed. All right, so thank you, Mary, for picking out that saint. And I think it was a really good one, a really interesting saint that I hadn't thought about in a long time. Okay, so you guys have a good night. Remember to read your fluency page, A Shy Puppy. That's your only homework for the week. You can do any other reading at home, and I will see you guys tomorrow.